What's going on YouTube? This is Nathan AJ
and Jamie,
and today we're going to be doing a little bit of talking about the Batman animated series Killing Joke. And just to give you guys a huge warning, this is going to be so spoiler filled, spoiler, but then also profanity warning, because this is going to be a video that we're both very passionate about, and we're talking about the Killing Joke comic book. The movie is set to come out in 2 days, so we're talking about how we feel about the movie before now, and of course we're talking about that juicy tidbit which got leaked out, which was the new fact that, spoiler, Batman and Batgirl in the Killing Joke anime movie have a sexual relationship. So we're going to be hitting all three of these high notes, and let's kind of strike where the iron's hot and talk about the fact that now Batman gets Batgirl with impunity because, you know, animated stuff and everything else.
This is bullshit. This is nothing but bullshit. This is somebody's headcanon that they've taken too fucking far. They did it in Batman Beyond, the comic. They put Barbara and Bruce together, had her get knocked off and lose a baby, if I remember correctly. Oof. So now apparently that wasn't enough. They're going to put it in the DCU because to give a character depth, she has to have a dick in her.
And see, mind you, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Yo, real talk, when it comes down to it, I was not a fan of. When I first read the article, I was like, okay, nah. But it was literally that last tidbit line, and you can look in the description down below for the article, which is made by Entertainment Weekly, where it said, in order to give, you know, Batgirl depth and to show her more prominence in the anime universe, we had her have a sexual relationship with Batman. And I'm looking like, yo, for that line particularly grinded me so much.
50 years of history with the character.
Get up. To really kind of draw from.
Ridiculous.
But or better yet, even then, and I said this to her right before the camera rolled, right? And DC, feel free to take this, you know, take some notes.
Please.
Okay,
do.
All right. If you want to give a character depth, introducing a cock in her mouth is not called character depth.
No.
Sexual activity, while it does give a grounded feel, because at the end of the day, we're all,
unless it doesn't make any sense, like Barbara and Bruce.
Okay, I'll say sexual activity period in comics and fantasy does make things a lot more grounded, and I give you that. But sexual activity does not equate character depth. Like, you can't say that, oh, because she has sex, that's her character trait. Okay, so then going back into it, when it comes to Barbara is just at the right age. She's 19 years old within the anime universe. To give her depth, how about we show her having to deal with going to college? Okay, and you see how Jim Gordon wants her to go to college and is pressuring her to go to college, and she wants to go to college, but she also wants to stay in Gotham and fight crime, and she doesn't know how to tell her dad the real reason why she doesn't want to leave town and go to outstate school is because she fights crime at night, because she has a superhero identity and she loves that. And it kind of comes down to where do you go do what your parents are telling you to do, or do you do what you love to do? And also, he only makes a cop's salary, you know, even being the commissioner and everything else. So maybe they can only afford certain schools. So she's trying to figure out how to make money. And Bruce, without the sex, because he's not prostitution or quid pro quo,
no sugar daddy.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Offers to pay for her, and she's like, no, I gotta do this on my own. So in this one aspect, okay, in that one little aspect, you
could have given her so much depth.
Okay, we had coming of age, we had leaving the nest, we had telling your parents,
independence, standing up, taking what's yours. Yeah, no, put a dick in her.
No, and I
am so beyond mad at this.
And this is coming from someone. Now, mind you, I'm always, technically up until this point, because now DC is killing it comic book wise, I've always been more Marvel than DC. I actually read the Killing Joke late in life. I read it to
too early.
Yeah, I read it into 2003. I was walking down New York and I saw it in a bin. I saw a hardcover edition in a bin, and I bought it for $10, and I read it, and it was like, yo, this is it was such a good story for me, and it gave so much more depth to the Joker's relationship with Batman. Not only because of his origin story, but also because of the fact that it only continued to show that no matter what, they're always going to be linked. I remember I read Emperor Joker when that storyline came out, and I'm looking at the little detail that no matter what, even though Joker had all his power, he could never get rid of Batman because his identity was so tied into it. And that one little spark of it hit me so hard. And to see that in the Killing Joke, where they're always going to be tumbling circle to circle one another, it was that. And then also to introduce the elements of it, because when Barbara got hit by the bullet and she was paralyzed, that story level element reverberated so long, and you saw the character go from being Batgirl to being, you know,
Oracle. Instead of letting something that could have derailed her entire life, she takes it and becomes stronger. She becomes more. She becomes better. She becomes the person that leads Batman. She, you know, it
and she does things that Batman can't do. Mind you, not to say that because Batman's infallible.
Batman is Batman.
You know, but I'm saying is because Batman is always the frontline soldier, or at least the general leading the frontline, something like that. She was the intelligence network, and you can't run an effective operation without intelligence and computer know-how and everything else. And also, last time I checked, Batman barely uses technology in the computer sense.
No,
okay?
he does, but we never get to see it. We always just see him sitting like this, staring up at a screen. It's always and Alfred like coming up behind him with some food, being like, "Please eat, master."
Yeah, you know. But I'm just so.
No, this pisses me off because I love the comics. I read it when I was far too young. I have 2 copies. I know exactly where they are. I loved it because not only did it show us the distilled evil that is the Joker, it was raw, it was brutal, it was unapologetic. It showed that bad things happen, and yeah, we knew bad things happen in Gotham, but to me, it had never been put forward so brutally. It had never been laid out like this is how bad it can be. Because you think of Joker, you're like, oh, haha, laughing gas, ah, ha, ha. You don't think, open the door, shoot a bitch, and then take her, and I never really, I guess, molest the hell out of her, take pictures of her naked everywhere, and then force her father. I mean, that is some fucked up shit.
Right. And it hit you as a reader, it hit you as a reader, it hit you as a parent, it hit you as a child, because
it hit you as a woman. Like,
yeah. You know, and I ain't gonna front for all intents and purposes, while this was Joker's plan, the sheer randomness of it.
Oh no,
you know?
I was on the fence about the movie anyways.
Right.
Leading up to it, though, we talked about this. The fact that they put as much work into it, that they did get Mark Hamill, and they did get Kevin Conroy, and they did get Tara Strong, and they got everybody from the animated series. They got Bruce Timm, they got everyone working on it, that I had finally started to come around. I was like, I'm okay.
Right, because I was on the opposite end of the spectrum, where I wanted to see an anime movie because I read anime and I watch anime and read manga. Where when you read manga, you're seeing awesome stuff. When we see it get turned to anime, it's literally the awesome stuff moving the way you always imagine. It's your imagination come forward. Sometimes they add little scenes or flesh out things, so it always makes everything feel a lot more solid. Yeah. So I'm looking like, yo, this is a great story. And then they're gonna turn into an anime movie. And mind you, DC has been killing animated movies.
They have. DC has been ruling it.
They have their duds, aka, son of Damon or son of Batman. Just saying, okay.
I honestly, I don't watch much of it.
Oh man. No, they also have some killer ones like Flashpoint Paradox and Red Hood, and those are particularly some of my favorites. Mm-hmm. So this seemed like the perfect team of them doing what they're doing. And the thing that grinds my gears the most, yeah, I said it, grinds my gears the most about this whole thing is the fact that somebody somewhere who came up with an idea, pitched it to a producer. Producer said that's a good idea. Gave confirmation on it. Someone had to write it down, send it to an animator. Animator had to make it. There was nobody along.
Said no.
Yeah, nobody said no, or maybe someone said like, maybe we can go in a different direction. And maybe I don't know DC's internal politics when it comes to the way they treat writers and writers and artists like that as much as I do Marvel's. Mm-hmm. But maybe this is a call for like maybe this is why we should have more a female presence. Now, mind you, I'm not saying just because we have more women that it wouldn't have happened, but at least giving some perspective. Hey guys, I don't know.
Maybe just adding her as a sex toy doesn't really change the character much. Maybe we do something different and not have her, her boyfriend's dad.
Or something of that nature. I don't know.
Because come on, and I know, Nightwing had Starfire or whatever, but for years and decades it was Barbara and Dick. And for Bruce to be like, whatever, like that, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it, and I'm really furious about this. Like, right. I cannot tell you how mad I am that they have ruined, and they're trying to retcon it in the books too. In the New 52, they're retconning the Killing Joke entirely. Maybe it was all in her brain. Like, fair point. I don't want Barbara to have been raped. I don't. No. I think it's horrible. Rape is awful. But for f***'s sake, man,
put like this.
Why does everything about Barbara have to be tied to a dick?
Literally.
Could
you say it? And I'm looking like, oh crap, like that works on both ends. Literally, every like major turning point in her life, you know, because at this point now they're gonna say the whole reason she created Birds of Prey and did that whole thing was she was actually trying to impress Dick Grayson the whole time because he, you know, to make him jealous. I mean, at this point I can't put it past them.
I'm highly disappointed and I'm very upset.
But you know what? I've already bought my tickets and I'm already still gonna see the movie and I'm gonna be doing a review on the movie itself when it fully comes out. But like I said, this is just a blow for me. But you know what else? Comment down below. Let us know how you feel about the Killing Joke comic book. Did you read it? Did you not read it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? How you know? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Batman animated series? What are your thoughts on all the pre-production and talent and voice casting that went into the Killing Joke animated movie? If you already seen the movie at this point, you know, let us know let us know your thoughts either on this video or on the actual review video that I'm gonna make. Or
by himself, I'm not.
Yeah, you're okay.
I'm out.
Like that. And also, most importantly, let us know how you feel about the fact that now Batman gets to bone Batgirl with impunity, and that's happening. That's a thing now.
Apparently.
Yeah, I'm Mason AJ.
I'm Jamie.
And I want to say
Visit
tune in.
your local shops.
Yeah, I want to say tune in next time, but the only thing that's coming out is DC on this one. Like that's all I'm gonna say about that. You know, I guess I'll catch y'all later or something. Chooses. How you gonna say yes, bend over? That's not a good look.
Yes, it is.
No, bend over is not a good look. All right, we got one more.
One more. We got this.